This is Crusade with me. Well, hello, my queen. How are you?
I'm good, my love. How are you?
Okay. Just trying to adjust your microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always helpful.
Is that good?
That's good.
Okay.
So, we're a little tired.
We're very tired.
Your feet are swollen.
Yes. And you were a doll. You got me my footrest.
Of course.
I was starting to feel the creepy crawlies.
Okay.
You look at me like you have
I'm
no
not sure
idea
what that
it
means, but okay.
Well, we traveled
Yes.
home, and so I couldn't take my water pills, and
Yeah.
now my feet are swollen, and it just feels like bugs are crawling on my legs, and that's all. Okay, too much TMI, right?
No, never on Crusade with me is there TMI.
So you did you interviewed on Built Not Wished,
Right.
which is funny because you looked and looked and looked when you started that podcast for new music, something industrial, some kind of industrial
Right.
music, and you found a couple of things. You're like, I just can't, So you ended up sticking with the same music as Crusade with Me, which, I always have a little dance party.
Yes, you do. You do.
I air drum. I get the ending.
Yeah.
I do the cymbal. Yeah. Anyways, so you wanted to use the same music, and I would be sitting in the living room listening to you record in the office, and it was like every time you'd say it, I in my mind would do
Crusade with me.
Welcome back to. You'd say Built Not Wished in my head, but Crusade with me. I'm like, I don't know how you didn't stumble over that, which the first episode
of Crusade with me again, I did.
Yes, the rebranding.
Right.
I'm like, you stumbled over it. And I'm like, I get it why you couldn't. And our daughter just is like, Dad's got to stop using that music. He's got to stop using that music on Built Not Wished. It's like, that's
I know.
Crusade
She
with
talked to me.
music.
She talked to me about that. And I'm like, look, I paid for that music. I'm using it.
So it's back with its rightful owner. It's back with Crusade with me. So
it's true identity from last
yeah.
episode, right?
But when back on Built Not Wished, which again I encourage everyone to, if you didn't follow Built Not Wished, do go listen to especially the interview portions of
right. I did 4 interviews. Yeah.
I think 5, because you interviewed 3 of my
true.
brothers, and one of your nephews, and then your boss.
Oh,
Paul.
yeah. 5. You're right.
And my first, the first interview with my brother, the first brother that you interviewed was my middle brother, and because he was getting ready to retire. That happened around about the first of the year,
somewhere in there. Yeah. Yep.
And so
when we
you talked
recorded
about his
the
retirement.
interview,
Yeah, he still had a couple more months to go. Well, that is now.
And that episode was called
something, and Don't Smile
Till
Christmas.
Christmas.
Yes.
Right, because that's a teacher's logo or term they use is something, be firm and don't smile till Christmas or something like that. Or
So so obviously his last day of school was last week, and his retirement party was yesterday. So he lives about 4 hours from us,
right?
3.5. But traffic yesterday on a Saturday.
Yeah, we live on the one side of the state of Indiana, and it's the wrong side. The far side.
Yeah. More of our time is getting out of our state.
Correct. Well, should be.
Yes.
We travel a lot more miles through Indiana than we do in Illinois.
But then
the problem is it's Chicago, Illinois, and yes.
Yeah.
He's on the west side, not in Chicago, but
A western suburb.
yes.
Yeah, but it's traffic and it's
Lots of it.
lots of it. So anyway, so we went up there and melted outside.
Yeah, hottest day of the year so far this year.
Yeah. So it was good to celebrate him. And then he's a young man. I mean, he's younger than me. So, of course, he's a young man and retiring because he did his 30 and he's out and he can now, spend some time doing the things he wants to do. And if he wants to pick up
or what Allison wants him to do.
his daughter bought her first house. And so I think she's got a list for him. And he has a granddaughter that lives in a couple of states away. And if he.
Right.
I think he's actually this week, he's traveling with his wife, who is his sugar mama. And
well stated.
And
well
so
stated.
He's going to go follow her along as she travels for work. And he's going to reap the benefits of, some of the things that she does traveling and go to some baseball games in the towns that she's putting on some events for. So.
Well, that sounds like a great plan to me.
Right. Well, it's his birthday too, so he's gonna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he's
Yeah, he's turning 55 and he retired.
I know. That's why I say he's a young
That's pretty
man.
awesome. That's pretty awesome. Only government jobs you could do that.
Yeah. So we got to catch up with all the other two brothers because they were there as well, and of course we broke Mom out of the home and took her, and so got to see several nieces and nephews, and we got to see the great niece,
yes,
who is a year old, and we tried to buy her love and affection.
Didn't work.
But she was a little overwhelmed with all the people.
Hundreds of people.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Of melty people who decided they were going to cram into the house for the air, which could not cool off that many people. So we decided to stay outside.
I don't know. It felt pretty nice in there when I went in. It was pretty nice.
It was crowded, but that's okay. We parked ourselves under a shade tree, and that's okay. Then we went over and saw the nieces' brand new house, and their air went out, and so that was.
Timing is impeccable.
Yeah. So anyways, that was our fun day, but we spent the night up there so we don't have to putz back home
in the middle of
4 hours.
Right. All right, I got some scripture I'm going to read.
Okay.
I'll read one, and then I'll have you read one, and I'm
okay.
And then we're going to try to put this together, figure out what it all means.
What
it all means, or what we think it means, or
you have experience doing that.
How can I explain this, or how does this fit into my life? And I'm going to jump into Genesis chapter 15, verse 1 through 6, and it says, it is written, after these things, the word of the Lord came to Abram in a vision, saying, do not fear, Abram, I am a shield to you. Your reward shall be very great. Abram said, O Lord God, what will you give me, since I am childless, and the heirs of my house is Eliezer of Damascus? And Abram said, since you have given no offspring to me, one born in my house is my heir. Then behold, the word of the Lord came to him, saying, this man will not be your heir, but one who will come forth from your own body. He shall be your heir. And he took him outside and said, now look toward the heavens and count the stars, if you're able to count them. And he said to him, so shall your descendants be. Then he believed in the Lord, and he reckoned it to him as righteousness. We all got plans, don't we?
Yeah.
Can you think of a time in your life when you got plans, or you think you got it, you got it all figured out? I've got this figured out. I know. Not like the show Outlander, which was very predictable. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Seasons 1 and 2 were okay, but but we like to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Humans, we like to predict. We are predictors. And I propose that us being predictors, we heavily influence outcomes by our predictions. You know what I mean by that?
Kind of, yeah.
In a negative sense, you could call it self-sabotage, for lack of a better term.
Right.
But yeah, here's dear old Abram. And he's complaining.
Complain.
Yes.
Complain.
Criticize.
Criticize.
I have no heirs. This Jamoke, because this guy was born in my house, so I guess he's going to be the heir. He's from Damascus, for crying out loud. And Abram's not a young man.
Mm-mm.
And nor is his wife a young woman.
Mm-hmm.
But God says, you know what? Hey, get off your haunches, walk outside, look up in the heavens, look at the stars.
Mm-hmm.
If you can figure that out, count them.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't. And he says, that's how many descendants are going to be from you.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's silly. That makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a fable.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a story.
God, you're just placating my ideas here. It's not really real.
No, I mean, what I read, I know people that would say, this is just a story. This didn't happen.
Right.
People weren't writing things down in this time.
Oh, you know what confirms to me that it's real? Other than the fact that I know it's real because of my belief.
Sure.
Is when it gets to the point that Sarai takes things into her own hands.
Oh.
That's what I know.
Oh, the story has this this patriarchal book
Mm-hmm.
has an aggressive woman manipulating things to her will.
Okay, wait. She's not alone. She's not
I
alone.
understand that.
But really, it's like, okay, this is taking too long. I don't really believe this is really going to happen. So let me just go get one of these maidservants, and because something's got to happen. We're too old.
I know, yeah.
And time is ticking. And
Can't see
God's
it.
taking too long.
So this reminds me of a silly, stupid story that's probably terrible to bring it up here, but when I was in
You should run these silly stories past me before you
high
bring them up.
school, and I was playing football, and I had my class ring, but I couldn't drive yet because I think I was a freshman. They wouldn't allow freshmen to drive to school. You had to ride a bus. And one winter day, we're on our way to school, and a car gets stuck in the snow in front of the school bus. So, school bus driver, God rest her soul, great lady. She had been my school bus driver ever since I started going to school 20 years ago.
Mrs.
20 years
Playable?
before that. Yes.
I've heard this story a time or two.
I know. So, ask us boys in the back of the bus to get up and go help move the car out of her way, to which we did. And of course, I'm a freshman in high school and stupid, or really, really macho. And I have on a very light coat and no gloves or no hat or anything. And so go out there and we move the car out of the way. There were 4 of us, and we were able to move the car, get it going, and then they took off.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we got back on the bus, got to school, and I realized my class ring is no longer on my hand. Uh-oh, Mom and Dad's been good money on that ring.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it cost. I don't think it was that much, but anyway.
It was probably, at that time, $150, $200.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh,
But
I know what mine
I have no
was.
idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I really don't.
It was huge.
It was huge. Yes. Oh, the ring itself. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I don't know. Anyway,
It was like a size 10.
it's a 12. It's my ring
So, okay,
size
I couldn't
and
remember.
my shoe size are the same.
Okay.
Anyway, now I'm sick to my stomach because I know I'm going to be in trouble with my parents because I've lost my class ring. And so we go back over and we look and we can't find it. And I to be clear, I was not in trouble. My parents were like, oh well, should take better care of stuff, Pay attention, all the stuff I would say to my kids who lost something valuable. I might have had the belt, I don't know, in my hand when I was talking to them, but anyway. I got 5 older sisters. God bless them. They're all uniquely different, but exactly alike. No, I'm only kidding. Anyway, one of them had a friend who was into using metal detectors. So come springtime, she gets this friend with a metal detector, goes out there twice and can't find the ring. So I'm like, well, I had a class ring for about a month, and anyway. And now I want to be candid. It's not like this was on the forefront of my mind every day. Okay, it wasn't. But I'm a senior, and we go to school half a day as a senior, right? And I'm sitting in a class, and I get called down to the office. Now, I was a good kid. I really never got in trouble. Or I was never caught. Let me put it that way. Okay.
Yeah.
And the lady asked me, "Have you lost something?" I said, "Nope." I said, "You didn't lose anything valuable?" I said, "Nope." And she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her. She says, "You're sure?" I'm like, 4 years ago, I lost my class ring. She says, "Can you describe it to me?" And it had my initials in it. Of course, the class ring has the year I'm graduating, so they can kind of narrow it down by 3 initials. And all right. And that's why they called me down. And it was my class ring. I said it was an emerald stone. My birthday's in May. And I described it, and she said, "Here it is." I said, "Wow, thank you." I never expected that I would ever have my high school class ring again. It didn't cross my mind. It's out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
That's what Abram's talking about here.
Mm-hmm.
I've lived that.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was they were repaving that stretch of road, and a construction guy found the ring. And because it had the name of the high school on the outside of it, he turned it in to the high school. And 4 years later, I got my ring back, to which I gave to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you wore for a time while you were in school.
On a necklace.
On a necklace, yeah. I thought you tried wearing it on your finger for a bit.
Yeah, but it took me a whole skein of yarn to fit my little 3.5 finger. And it just got in the way. It's like having a tennis ball in my palm of my hand.
Oh, kind of nonsense. Anyway, but yeah. So I don't know if that
that's
really.
That's a great analogy.
I don't know if that really that just hit me as I was reading that, and I thought, we are so smart, and we all have computers that we can have in our palm of our hand, and we know so much of everything, and we can predict everything. And now we even have AI to help us. allegedly.
Well,
just thought I would share
but
that
that
story.
just brings up things that you're like, I don't know if I can believe this or not, because it's like, is this AI or is this
Oh,
real?
I know. You're right. You're right.
So you
Yeah,
can't
truth
always
can
try
be a
that.
son of a gun, can't it? Yeah.
Is this AI generated or is this real?
Well, I've read one, baby. You want to read one? Want to go to Psalm 33?
12 through 22.
Sure.
Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, the people whom he has chosen as his heritage. The Lord looks down from heaven. He sees all the children of man. From where he sits enthroned, he looks out on all the inhabitants of the earth. He who fashions the hearts of them all and observes all their deeds. The king is not saved by his great army. A warrior is not delivered by his great strength. The war horse is a false hope for salvation, and by its great might it cannot rescue. Behold, the eye of the Lord is on those who fear him, and those who hope in his steadfast love, that he may deliver their soul from death and keep them alive in famine. Our soul waits for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart is glad in him, because we trust in his holy name. Let your steadfast love, O Lord, be upon us, even as we hope in you.
That sounds encouraging. That sounds positive.
The eye of the Lord is upon those who fear him.
Or as you would sometimes refer to as the mighty smiter. Yes. Yeah. A lot of churches don't want to talk about the mighty smiter nowadays.
I think a healthy amount, or a good amount of fear is healthy.
Yes. And fear is an interesting thing. I just saw a study, and it was in this country. It was in the United States. They took babies, a room full of babies, and they released some snakes into the room
I saw
with the
this.
babies. Yeah, I shared that with you.
I was fearful.
And the babies are just so c'est la vie, right?
They're pinching them.
Yeah, they don't know.
They're trying to bite them.
Yeah, they don't know. So the scientists conducting that study were saying we are born with only a couple of fears, and one is the fear of falling. See, I think I was born with the fear of going hungry. Okay. But the scientists didn't talk about that. But anyway, that was my thought. And we've had babies, right? And they seem like they are afraid like we're going to let them go hungry, right? Big old crocodile tears and yeah.
That's why they.
I mean, last week.
Screaming.
No, I'm only kidding. Yeah. But, and sometimes you got to be careful when we're reading, especially the Old Testament, because there are so many Hebrew words, and I'm not going to say they're mistranslated. All right, I'm not going to go down that path. However, the Hebrew language is a lot more vast than the English language. So they have words, and maybe that's actually wrong. I don't know that the Hebrew language is more vast. But just as we have words that have multiple meanings, they likewise, and it depends on context, right? And in this instance, I think it's a poor translation from the standpoint of, and you read the same thing in Ecclesiastes, and you read the same thing in Proverbs, right? Fear the Lord, fear the Lord, fear the Lord. I think it would be a far better one. Another English word that you could substitute in for that word fear is honor,
Mm-hmm.
respect. We get so hung up on this fear the Lord. I think that if you got to go back to the original Hebrew, and you'll get a better understanding. And in the end, it has to be understood in context, as most everything, right? Because you can take everything and anything out of context, and it can be twisted and turned to mean almost anything.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about in Genesis, with Abram, and he's got his own predictable plan in his mind, or he knows the way things are going to go. And here we see the psalmist recording, don't depend on yourself. Even if you're a king, don't depend on yourself. Even if you have an army and you have cavalry with a bunch of horses. And in the Hebrew, the horse was always looked at as this mighty creature. And obviously strong. And this makes me think of several years ago. Man, and I say several, it might be like decades ago. It seemed like it was just a few years ago. Anyway, do you remember when we had that pretty significant earthquake on the East Coast? Do you remember that?
Mm-mm.
It actually cracked the Washington Monument. Remember that? Because then they had to put scaffolding all around it and repair it.
Okay.
I don't remember how long ago that was.
It's been several years.
Okay.
It's been a...
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a hot minute. But by that time, America, the United States, was the lone superpower. Right?
Boy, have things changed.
We're still the lone superpower. I know. I'm not going to talk about China. Anyway. But as powerful as the United States is, that earthquake hit, and they hunkered down. The Navy emptied Norfolk. An earthquake was potential tsunamis.
Mm-hmm.
Ships, you go out. You don't sit at the shore because that's where you're going to get damaged.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the psalmist here is saying. Fear the Lord. He'll be your shield. He'll be your... We think we're so powerful. We have the nuclear capability to devastate the globe. But we have no control when an earthquake, a minor
Mm-hmm.
earthquake, hit Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm. And that's why when people want to, and I get sometimes social media is all about clicks and likes and shares because people are monetizing off of all that stuff. But even outside of that, as I venture out into the real world sometimes, and people can hardly make it out of a conversation without bringing up politics or...
That's sad.
Or other things. But it's like, if these are, not everything in life is about the things that are happening in the world events and politics and all of that.
No, it's... No, I know it's not all about politics, but you know what it is about? It's about me. That's what it's about.
And victimhood and all of that.
Yeah.
But It's just,
No, I know.
yeah. It's like, can we just take a break and a breather about, just like yesterday when we stopped to get a sandwich.
Fabulous sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go for another one right
And
now.
my mom's like, are they having a parade? At a major intersection in a town.
Yeah.
And they were not having a parade.
They were having a
having
protest.
A protest.
Yeah. At a war memorial.
At a Veterans War Memorial.
Right. Yeah.
Which is sad. Sad. Again, another slap in the face to our veterans.
That's not good.
It's not good. It's sad.
I know.
You want to protest ICE, you go somewhere else. Just don't do it on defame our veterans.
Right.
You want to go protest Trump? Go. I don't care. I really don't care.
Right. No, I mean.
Go somewhere else. Fly yourself down to Washington, D.C. and do it. Just don't do it in a town in Northwest Indiana at a veterans
memorial wall. Yeah.
That's so just nonsensical to me.
Well,
and then don't confuse my 79-year-old mother thinking it's a parade.
It's a parade.
It's just, and that's just a separate generation that just does not understand.
No, you're right.
This stuff.
Well, but
Nor should she.
You really hit on a great point that we probably should talk on briefly, and that's, you talked about the social media and the clicks, and you know what else social media does?
It makes it.
Okay,
it's a fairyland. We're living in a different world.
I would agree with that.
Sorry,
I would agree.
I didn't
Yes.
Interrupt.
No. I was just saying that it desensitizes people.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say fairyland.
It desensitizes them.
That they can go out in the real world and talk all this big talky talk.
Right.
Like, instead of being a
keyboard warrior. Yeah.
And it's like, no, that might get you into really big trouble, talking all that talky talk.
Right. Well, it's easy to do at a major intersection with vehicles because nobody's going to waste their time to get out of a vehicle to have a conversation with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, they're not technically going to be face-to-face with anybody.
Right.
The few times I have seen face-to-face, if
my mother was driving, she might stop and get a lunch here.
Right, she wants
Join
some candy.
Your parade.
Want some candy, anyway.
Sorry.
No, but just that, and I have gone on about this to nauseum on Built Not Wished about social media, doom scrolling, and all of the negative impacts that incur. And I am on social media. I'm on almost all of the platforms. And truly, because of this podcast, because of podcasting, and that's the only way I could truly advertise. Not a fan of it, but
I am on Instagram and I doom scroll two things.
Mm-hmm.
Food, recipes, cooking, other cooking,
right.
Cooking people, and thrifting.
Oh, I know you and your thrifting. Although I've been the benefactor of your thrifting. I got to admit.
I, sir, you have. But I guess back to my point, and then I'll stop. But this is where I think whether I've interpreted or the meaning of fear the Lord. This is where I think a healthy fear the Lord comes in handy. Walking the earth, I think more people need to have a fear the Lord mentality of being in the real world.
We're going to get to that, and maybe if you flip over to 1 John.
Okay, sorry.
Because here's the issue with fear. All right, and I think you're going to cover this in 1 John. There are some issues with fear because fear produces what? Fear produces some things, but they're all pretty negative. And I think you're going to answer your own question by reading 1 John chapter 4.
Oh, I know what this is. Okay, I'll say after when I get done.
Okay.
1 John 6 through 21.
1 John 4, right?
4, 6 through.
16.
Okay, well, I cut off the 1 in front of the 16.
Yeah, 16 through 21.
So we have come to know and to believe the Lord that God has for the love that God has for us. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. By this is love perfected with us, so that we may have confidence for the day of judgment, because as he is, so also we are. So also are we in this world. Therefore, there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, for fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. We love because he first loved us. If anyone says, I love God, and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he has seen, cannot love God, whom he has not seen. And this commandment we have from him: whoever loves God must also love his brother.
Thank you.
I know there's many moving facets there.
There are, yes. But go ahead. You said you were going to say
No.
Well, and I was just jumping the gun there, I guess, by talking about, the scripture even says here that fear of always is a fear of punishment, right?
Right.
Did you notice that on the toll road today coming back, those new digital signs they have up on the toll road? It said, obey the speed limit. It's not a suggestion.
Yeah. You didn't listen to that, did you?
I still look at it as I don't fear the punishment.
You
I don't fear the punishment. Terrible analogy.
That's really sad because I do for you. Okay.
You were doing Wordle.
That was early on. Doesn't take me 4 hours to do Wordle.
No, it doesn't. I'm going to be honest with you. This is one of my least favorite verses of the day.
Luke?
No,
1 John.
1 John.
I was
Yeah,
like, wow, you're moving on fast.
No. The love of God gets talked about to nauseum, in my opinion, sometimes. And I'm a pretty emotional, loving, tender guy. And
yeah, we always have to talk about your feelings.
yes. I don't. That's all you hear about when a lot of people talk about the Bible, or it's the love of God. The love of God. Do you understand the love of God created this place, created everything on this earth, created us? That's the love of God. The love of God is they're all jacked up. They're all messed up. I want them to get back to original, dare I say, back to Eden, the way we were originally designed to be. Episodes about that on Crusade with me, Back to Eden episodes. You can find them. I feel like it's much more logical than the emotional love. I do. I'm not saying that that's right. I'm not saying that. I don't know.
Well, I think that God's love is explainable from a parent's perspective,
Yes,
which,
absolutely.
I mean, that's not an original thought
No.
by any stretch of the imagination, but our love comes in the form of discipline. Our love comes
Mhm.
in the form of protection. Our love comes in the form of hugs and kisses. I mean, but it's all of those. It's
In a
not
balance.
singular
Right.
one-way street. It is
Correct.
all of those. It's discipline. It's
I love the atheists that say, there is no God. You know why there's no God? Because you guys all talk about a loving God, and this kid has cancer. How could that be? There's no God. Because you claim this false book and you read stuff like this, the love of God.
Mhm.
How could that be? Well, I happen to know two things could be true simultaneously, right?
In all
And
areas, even outside of the Bible.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Every aspect.
Well, what intrigues me is Christians have hung their hat and preached this so prevalently, so frequently. So, that's the extreme focus that's all atheists know,
Right.
right?
Right.
When the truth of the matter is, if you would do any search or look at all and look at the Bible as a whole, both testaments,
Mm-hmm.
and I would suggest looking at I have a copy of the Orthodox Study Bible. So I'm reading the apocryphal books, which are not in my New American Standard Bible translation. And man, I'm going to tell you, reading the apocryphal books are extremely helpful understanding other parts of the Old Testament and the New Testament. God wasn't very nice to a lot of people. I mean, he wiped out whole cities. He had the nation of Israel wipe out people, including the women and the children. So when I hear this, God is love. Yes, he is. He is. But I think we need to look at this in its totality to understand that things happen in this world, as in we have children's hospitals for cancer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That God has allowed that to happen. He has allowed that to happen. Or, that's no God. That's not a God I want to worship if he treats people the way he treated Job. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Why would he allow that to happen? God is absolutely in control. But I think that we look at God. Okay, way too many people on this rock spinning around the sun look at God as their magic genie,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I pray hard enough, if I go to church enough, if I give enough, I will get this. Well, that's all in vain right there. Because that's not real. That's not real. You're not being real. You're not being authentic. You're not being what you were designed by God to be. You're being a manipulator. You want to make God your genie.
Mm-hmm.
God's no one's genie.
Yep. He wants obedience with nothing asked in return.
I think God wants us to be what he designed us to be.
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe that.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to work at that.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to work at that. I know I went dark on you a little bit.
You did.
Sorry.
I felt it.
Well, I don't mean to be going dark on you. I look,
it's all things we've thought before, but we just don't. I like I always say, there's mysteries that we're not meant to understand.
Right.
And yeah, is life crappy?
Yes.
When we talk about children being sick and yes. And I don't have answers for that.
Nor do I, and nor does anyone else. But
right.
But to claim, in my opinion, that's a really weak argument. And the reason they get away with it is because they're allowed to get away with it from the standpoint of when you have a debate, there are rules in a debate. Those type of debates that I'm talking about, there's no rules. It's you can only speak from this vantage point right here, where I, as the guy that says I'm an atheist and there is no God, I get to choose and do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. Let's wind this down by looking at look at Luke 16, verses 19 through 31. You want to read that one? You want me to read that one? You read it.
He also said to the disciples, there was a rich man who had a manager, and charges were brought. Am I in the right place?
No, I don't think so. 16 verses 19 through 31.
Okay.
Yeah, you were not on the right place.
Wow. I had markings there.
Oh, whoa.
Different reading.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't sound like the rich man and Lazarus.
Nope.
There was a rich man who was clothed in purple and fine linen, and who feasted sumptuously every day. And at his gate was laid a poor man named Lazarus, covered in sores, who desired to be fed with what fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, even the dogs came and licked his sores. The poor man died and was carried by the angels to Abraham's side. The rich man also died and was buried. And in Hades, being in torment, he lifted up his eyes and saw Abraham far off, and Lazarus at his side. And he called out, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus to dip the end of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am in anguish in this flame. But Abraham said, Child, remember that you in your lifetime received your good things, and Lazarus in like manner bad things. But now he is comforted here, and you are in anguish. And besides all this, between us and you a great chasm has been fixed, in order that those who would pass from here to you may not be able, and none may cross from there to us. And he said, Then I beg you, Father, to send him to my father's house, for I have 5 brothers, so that he may warn them, lest they also come into this place of torment. But Abraham said, They have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. And he said, No, Father Abraham, but if someone goes to them from the dead, they will repent. He said to him, If they do not hear Moses and the prophets, neither will they be convinced if someone should rise from the dead.
Foretelling a little bit here, eh? So the old story of the Lazarus and the rich man. More fairy tales according to the atheist.
See, I look at not just the rich man, but he didn't do anything for him.
You're exactly right.
Right. He didn't tend to Lazarus.
No. The guy was laying at his gate.
Yeah.
On his front porch, basically.
Right.
Not basically. That's probably overdoing it.
Just overlooked him, saw him, overlooked him, didn't.
I gotta wear my fine clothes. I gotta get my Gucci purse or whatever that is. Not Gucci, Louis Vuitton.
Right.
I've got to, yes.
And it wasn't like Lazarus was asking for food or anything. He was willing to eat his scraps.
Correct.
So.
You're exactly right. But I'm not rich, so I don't act that way.
Right, I know.
That's not true. I mean, it's bull.
But
from the standpoint
we
of,
are
look,
cared for.
We are well cared for. But I'm just saying that the story is much deeper. And that's the thing about the Bible. That's the thing about all of it. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. And I'm not asking you, if you're not even a Christian, okay, I'm not asking you to convert. I'm not asking you but it's worth a study. I do believe that God desires for all of us to be in our designed selves, in our designed form, the way we were in the Garden of Eden. And he has created a plan for that. And that's kind of what we're talking about on this podcast. But do I help everybody that I know of that needs help? No, I don't. So even though I don't wear purple, because that's not my favorite color at all, I'm wearing my favorite color.
I know. Do I dare tell them what your favorite color is?
I do like black. I do.
You're the man in black.
But there are so many layers to this specific story, to your point. So is this guy in hell because he didn't help Lazarus as he could have? Instead, he let dogs come and lick his sores. It's not good. It's not good. Am I any better than the rich man? There's people that I know that need help that I've not helped. What about, I look at it even further. Not only is the rich man that while on this earth could see Lazarus laying at his front gate and dogs licking his sores and do nothing. He thinks so little of Lazarus and says, hey, Father Abraham, could you send Lazarus to me so he could dip his finger and quench my thirst?
Yeah.
You talk about ballsy.
I
mean, you understand what I'm saying?
Can you transport me over there?
No, or none of that. It's about me. Mm-hmm. It's about me.
Like, I'm in misery. Send Lazarus over here to me and let him be in misery with me. He's used to it.
Yeah, he's okay. He's poor guy. He's sickly. That's this guy's attitude, is it not?
Yeah.
And he could burn in hell.
Mm-hmm. That's why he's there. It's not because of the way he do.
It wasn't because he was rich. It wasn't because he dressed in purple. No.
It's because even after burning in hell, his attitude didn't really change.
No.
There was no repentance.
Send that slouch over here to quench my thirst.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Mm-hmm.
I am absolutely blown away by the depth and the layers of this book and all the writings I mean, we just hit the tip of the iceberg, and I probably picked out way too many. We need to go with much fewer readings and go deeper into the fewer readings. I think we'll do that in the future.
Right.
And I laugh. I absolutely laugh at, in the 21st century, our arrogance, how much smarter we are. What's one thing I used to do when we first got married, baby? What's one of the jobs I had?
Oh, you sold children's books and encyclopedias.
Yeah. That was in the mid to late 80s. And at those times and those days, we thought stupidity and ignorance was due to the lack of information. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Surprise. I don't think that's it. We have access to more knowledge and information than anybody ever in history.
Yeah. It's just what people choose.
Oh yeah, you can't use this because this is not knowledge. This is fantasy. It's or it's how powerful people control weak-minded people.
Yeah.
You've heard that, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not very powerful, so I.
Well, they're talking about the church. They're talking about the church
okay.
with a capital C church.
Gotcha.
And there are people that genuinely feel that way and believe it.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. It's really sad. I pray for them. I do pray for them. Personally, I pray for them. If I knew their name. I know plenty. I think they're going to be the rich man in Hades. Go ahead.
Oh no, I take no joy in that.
No.
I know you don't either, but I just think it's sad because you see, when people are being nasty with each other, or people supporting other people when they like hear a story and they're just like, well, they'll get theirs, or someday they'll pay the price. But after reading that story, it's like, I don't think people will ever come to when punishment is given.
Yeah, some won't.
When
some
God
won't.
gives his punishment.
Some won't. You're right.
It sounds like maybe they won't ever see with clarity. And maybe when Christ returns, maybe they will. Maybe.
Yeah, we don't. Well, we learned from Abraham. We're terrible predictors sometimes, and we shortchange God.
That's what I'm saying.
We learn from Psalm that, you know what? We put a lot of faith and trust and strength and power and all this, and it's probably misplaced.
Yeah.
We learn from 1 John that God has a loving kindness toward us.
Mm-hmm.
Parent-child relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't view it that way. Too often we don't view it that way. We view it as a mighty smiter, for lack of a better term. And then we see here in the Gospel of Luke, with the story of Lazarus and the rich man, I think this is telling us there are people that will they will cling to their power, to their dollars, to their position, to their wealth, and be damned the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're burning in hell, their attitude will still be, send me that slouch to ease my pain and suffering. Even though I wouldn't even look on him and his pain and suffering and give, that's.
And honestly, if I'm on the right side of the chasm, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I get it. You're right. You're absolutely right. The
I'm not talking about in this world. I mean,
no, I get it.
when I'm on the
get-
correct side of the chest, it should be not a thought in my head. So I will be praising and worshiping.
right. Read
and-
Revelation chapter 1. That's what
Yes.
you'll be doing.
So
Right.
it should not be a thought anymore.
But we're here. We're not there. We're here.
Yeah.
And
But the other point would be that I shouldn't be carrying around anymore now because I got things to do.
say that one more time.
I said, so I shouldn't be carrying around, if there's something that you're carrying around here on earth, you shouldn't because you got things to do.
Exactly. And I want to go back to First John reading. That just struck a chord in my brain. And I know it says, if you can't say you love God and hate your brother,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I've wrestled with that sometimes.
Oh, I know. And I met your brothers. So
and they're hard not to love. So they might frustrate you a time or two, but
no, they are hard not to love. Anyway, now the women in their lives. No, I'm only kidding.
oh, buddy.
I can safely do that because I'm confident they will not be listening.
Oh, I'm going to text them. I'm going to tattle.
No, I've got some great sister-in-laws as well. And one we've been praying for because she just had a hellacious shoulder surgery. I don't know if anybody listening knows what all that entails and the process, the healing.
Well, it's
man.
because it was a second one, and
Wow.
there will not be a third. It will be a shoulder replacement because.
Oh, I thought amputation. I thought, what? Well, she might go for an amputation
Well,
before.
and if she doesn't sit down and quit,
Well,
it'll be here sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because she's not a sitter downer.
Well, you know what? I would be okay with it if she's like making pierogies, but she's not. She's vacuuming. I mean, but anyway, yeah.
Well, she'll quantify. She's vacuuming with her good arm.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways.
You can love someone
Mm-hmm.
and be frustrated with them. If any of you have children, you know what I'm talking about.
Spouses.
Parents. Yes. I think it is healthy. As Crusaders, we all need to set boundaries for relationships. And not every relationship is healthy. So some relationships, you can love someone in a relationship, and I'm talking about somebody other than your spouse, that you may have an extended family member that you love, but for your own health, physical and mental, you might have to have boundaries that you have very limited interactions, so to speak. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just something I wanted to be clear that, yes, First John makes it very clear. You can't say, oh, I love God and hate your brother. Because now you're a liar.
Right.
But if your brother is abusive to you, or if your brother is toxic, you can love him,
Mm-hmm.
but you better have boundaries
Mm-hmm.
to protect yourself and your family. That's what I was wanting to
Right.
be clear.
Right. No, I get that.
Because the toxic brother that I'm thinking of in this instance could be the same man that Lazarus was laying in front of his house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? It's the same. That's what I'm trying to get. The point is, it's the same. And as mighty as we are in 2026, we control far less than we think we do. And we need to be okay with that.
Yeah. It can break your heart, but that's why it's love. That's how you know it's love, when it breaks your heart.
Yes.
That it can't be.
Right.
But
that's all I've got.